This is Ryan Nolan with Road Dirt here at the last round at Laguna Seca, final round of the season. Here with our Supersport rider, Benjamin Smith. So Ben, why don't you give me a quick recap? Let's go with Friday and then Saturday into the race. So tell me how Friday went first.
Yeah, the weekend started off really well, actually. Right from the get-go, the bike felt like I had a good setting on the bike. Immediately got up to pace and felt pretty comfortable. I think after Friday, we were like 7th or 8th on the timesheets, which was not bad considering all the competition that came into the class this weekend. Like, I was expecting for it to be a very competitive weekend. So overall, I was pretty happy with it. We moved on to Saturday morning and left the bike pretty similar to how it was on Friday. And qualifying 2 went really well. Got out there in the first stint, put in a good lap, and then we threw on the new tire, and I just went out with JD Beach and just tried to hang on to him as best as I could, and ended up doing a 27 that was good enough to put me 4th on the grid, so I was very happy with that. And then Saturday race 1, got off to a pretty decent start. After JD went down, I was running 3rd place. Had about a second gap back to 4th place, and just came into the corkscrew with 6 or 7 laps to go, and thought that I didn't grab my last downshift, but turns out I did, so I grabbed one more than I needed to, went back to first gear and lost it. So that was a big bummer because a lap later Richie went out, so I was pretty confident that I would have had a 2nd place.
Yep.
So definitely was bummed about that, but I mean, I take full blame for it. I mean, mistakes happen. I was trying my best. So it is what it is. But
I mean, like you said, you were on it. I mean, you were ripping it. You were doing your best for sure. You were running the same times as the leaders. You got out in front. I was really pumped to see you in P4 in qualifying. So you're on it. I know you had some kind of mechanical gremlins you've been chasing throughout the season. So it just shows once everything kind of gets put together, look what you can do. So that's it. In a way, I know it obviously sucks to start Saturday off that way, but it's a good way to see what you can carry into next year.
Yeah.
So
absolutely, that's kind of the thought. Like you said, like we've been struggling with a little bit of electrical gremlins for the past couple of races that have really kind of hindered our progress. This was the first round that we really got it all figured out, and I think it showed. Like, we were fast all weekend, and yeah, I was really happy with especially how today went, ending the weekend. Again, got off to a pretty decent start. Got stuck behind 2 Kawasaki's for a little bit in the beginning of the race, and by that time, the top 3 had kind of broken away just a little bit too much for me to get back to them, but ended up getting around into 4th place, get settled in, and was running really consistent lap times at, on par with JD in 3rd. So kept the gap about consistent to him and put a gap on the guys behind me. So ended up finishing out the weekend 4th, and I think that we really showed that we have the pace to run up front when everything's good and working like it should. So that's a huge building block for next year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of guys came out this weekend, it looked like.
Yeah.
There's a lot more bikes. I saw a lot of Kawasaki's. A lot more people, I think, just wanted to get in that last race of the season.
Yeah.
And to be up P4, right behind those guys. And like I said, when I watched you in the race, you gapped them immediately once you got by them.
Yep.
And it looked like you were reeling JD in a little bit at the end as well, which is awesome.
Yeah, like I felt, like I said, like I kept JD within sight, basically the whole race, and there was actually a point in the race where I felt like, and the time showed that like I was gaining on him, a 10th here, a 10th there, which I mean for me that's a win in itself to be gaining on JD Beach. But,
yeah, right.
But I mean he's obviously a phenomenal rider, so he kept the gap steady to where he needed to be. But I mean overall it was a really solid race. I'd say the best one. It was our best result of the year.
Yep.
And I think it's the best race that I've ridden all season. So yeah, we had some bad luck here and there. Like we've been in the podium spot a couple times now this season, but haven't been able to close it out for one reason or another. But overall, I think we ended the season showing what we can do when everything's working the way it should, and that's, like I said, that's a huge something to build off of for next year.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's a great way for you to end and kind of carry that 4th into next season. Because if you can take the consistency that you found now and carry that 4th, I think you guys are going to be right there. So I'm pretty pumped for you guys.
Yeah.
So now with the off season coming up here, I know you said you don't really know what the plan is yet. I know you obviously want to try and keep doing some riding, some 2-wheel stuff.
Yeah.
But do you have anything else like that you're planning to do in the off season?
A lot of logistics that we have to figure out for next season as far as like off-track stuff goes. I feel like everybody has to deal with that in the winter times of racing. It's all kind of, unsure. The plan obviously is to go racing again next season. I think that hopefully things will work out for us, but we haven't gotten far enough to think about where we're going to test. I'm sure it'll be down south, Jennings like I did earlier this year or something like that. Just a typical testing schedule, but it's definitely going to be huge for us to stay, at least ride a decent amount during the winter just to stay fresh and make sure that we've got a good, strong package going into the first round.
Yeah, I'm hoping we'll definitely keep in touch and see how things go for you next season. And then before we close things out, though, I got to ask, since we're at Laguna, did you get a chance to watch the bagger class at all?
I did. I watched multiple sessions of the bagger class this weekend because I was so curious coming into the weekend about how it was going to be. And, I was honestly blown away. Those guys were moving. I saw a video of, Gillum backing it into turn one. And, those bikes have to be, I know they're, modded out like crazy, but they still got to be every bit of 600 pounds. It blew me away. I was honestly really surprised by it. And I think it was good because they showed up, those teams showed up in a professional manner. They had the legitimate rigs and stuff like that. So I think that it definitely added a little bit something different that we haven't seen to the paddock that could be good for the future.
Would you ever ride one?
Honestly, I would like to say that I would, but I'm pretty sure that I would get on the bike and be like, what am I doing?
Wouldn't know what to do.
What to do. I should be going to the grocery store on one of these things. I don't even know how to ride this around a racetrack, but they looked like a blast. So who knows?
No, it was crazy to watch them coming through the corkscrew. I know in practice, some of the guys had the radio going and we're being a little funny. So that was neat to watch. And I just wish the fans had been out here to see that. So hopefully for next year.
Definitely. But I think that would be like you said, definitely a huge fan attraction, so that'll be good for next year.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, Ben, awesome way to end the season.
Thank you.
A little up, a little down like all racing is.
Yep.
But I'm looking forward to seeing what you do next year, so
awesome.
I appreciate everything that you've taken the time to kind of chat with us. And like I said, we're going to definitely keep in touch. So
yeah, absolutely. I appreciate the opportunity. Going through the season and doing this was cool. Definitely to see the season progression was something I think people would like, and I appreciate the opportunity.
All right. Ryan Nolan with Road Dirt here with Benjamin Smith, signing off. Thanks, buddy.
Awesome, man. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man.